Well, we are now welcomed and joined by Arizona head coach Adia Barnes. Coach, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on the tremendous run in the NCAA championship so far and for your program's first Final Four appearance.
Thank you very much. We're so excited to be here. It's a pleasure.
All right, we're going to start off with some questions. And the first question will be from Javier Morales, allsportstucson.com. Javier.
Yes, hi, Adia. You were part of that Washington coaching staff that went to the first Final Four for that program. Now you're the head coach for Arizona's first Final Four. Coach Ariyama mentioned that the way the Final Four is this year, it might be to a benefit to a team like yours because you don't have to fly in and deal with all the hoopla, and you're in the same spot as it is right now. So can you comment on that, how beneficial it is, the differences between the two?
Well, we wouldn't know any difference. So we wouldn't know anything different because we haven't experienced either. So for us, it's our first, so it's all we know. But I could see how just teams would benefit from not having home court advantage. But I think it didn't benefit us early because it was a neutral site because we would have hosted the first couple rounds at home. But I think I do see how just kind of being in one neutral place and kind of getting used to the floor and stuff like that, I do think it's probably a benefit for us.
Thank you for that question. We're now going to go to Michelle Vopel, ESPN. Michelle?
Yeah, Coach Barnes. I just wondered what you thought about this. Coach Auriemma was mentioning he wishes the three-point line were the same, men's and women's. He thinks that from a spacing standpoint and everything, he would like that. And as somebody who played internationally, I just wonder what your thoughts are on that.
As a player, I think it was difficult because, when I first started playing pro, there was a difference in the ball. Remember the FIBA ball versus our ball? So that was hard. It was hard going in Europe, then coming back and changing. I think it's great when there's consistency overall because when the line's different, I think there's just pros and cons. So I think when it's consistent, it's better. But I think I have seen from like a lot of European players will come here and shoot it a little bit better because the line's different. But I haven't thought a whole lot about it, but I do think what I loved about the European game and the FIBA rules, I liked the fact that the key was different. I did like a lot of the rules in FIBA. I thought the game was a little faster. The shot clock was different. So I, played over there for a lot of years, so I love that. But, I don't know if that would change women's basketball. Haven't thought a whole lot about it.
Thank you, Michelle. We're now going to move to a question from Vicky Fulkerson with the New London Day. Vicky?
Hi, Adia. I was just wondering how this feels this week. Your first Final Four as a head coach, bringing this team here, and just how your emotions are going right now.
I'm just so happy to be here, so proud of my team, all the hard work we've put in all year, and just I felt played some good basketball, better at the end of the season, and actually going into the tournament kind of played some of our best basketball. So I think gaining momentum at the right time. So just proud that a lot of work I saw is putting in early. It's all the work has paid off. We do skill work all year long, and we pride ourselves in doing that and getting our players better during the season. So for me to see a lot of that stuff come to light and us execute the things we were working on that we maybe didn't a month ago, I'm really happy about. I'm proud for the University of Arizona, just to put Arizona on the map, where that's my school. It's where I graduated from, so I think that it's special. Tucson's excited, my team's excited. I don't think we've had a whole lot of time to digest everything. I know I haven't, but it's one day at a time, just like we've been the whole time in the tournament. We've already been on the road this long, so we're like, why not stay a few more days? We're all excited, pumped, and just ready to play.
Thank you for that question, Vicky. We'll now go to Michelle Smith, Pac12.com. Michelle?
Hello, Coach.
Hi.
I'm gonna ask you a couple basketball questions. What is the one thing you absolutely have to do tomorrow against Uconn, and what is the thing you absolutely cannot afford to do?
The first thing we absolutely have to do is play Arizona defense. We've gotten here because of our defense, and it creates offense for us. So we have to play our style of defense, regardless of the offense that Uconn has. We know they're tremendously talented offensively, and a really good team, and they flow really well. They run a lot of great stuff, but we have to be able to defend it, and I think that's what will give us a chance. So we absolutely cannot let them get going in transition, cannot let them control the tempo. And, we have to make them work for hard shots. They're going to score. They have great talent, but we have to make them work for every shot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Our next question will come from Emma Bassarelli from Sports Illustrated. Emma?
Hi, Emma Bachelari from
Hi,
Sports
Emma.
Illustrated. Coach Staley posted on Instagram earlier a card that looked like it was addressed to the both of you from C. Vivian Stringer about, what it means to have both of you here as two Black women coaches. Can you share anything about that card and what it means to be in this position at all?
Yeah, I actually haven't even had time to post today, but I received the same card, and it was just meaningful. It was touching. Vivian Stringer is a legend, someone who we both really look up to, and sent me a package and a card. So we both received the same thing, but I think it's just people taking time and just thinking about us. I think it's really important, and she's one of the first that, put Black female coaches on the map. And she's done so many things, one of the most successful in the business. So to receive something like that from her means a lot to me.
Thanks for the question, Emma. We now go to Pepper Persley from The Next Hoops.
Hi, Coach.
Hi.
Pepper Person with The Next. I was just wondering, what impact do you think winning the WNIT in 2019 is having on your team now?
The impact of the WNIT was tremendous for our program. What it did is it gave us momentum, and it gave us confidence, and it woke up Tucson. It woke up basketball fans, because for so many years there was just support for men's basketball because the women's program wasn't successful. So I think it woke up. It got everybody excited. I think for us, it's to play in front of 15,000 fans. Most people don't, except for some of these programs here in the Final Four. But it gave us momentum, and we got experience that was one and done experience, so tournament type experience, and that really helped us for last year. Last year, I think we wouldn't have had success if we wouldn't have won the NIT the previous year. And then unfortunately, at the end of the year, we didn't get a chance to go to the tournament. But if we wouldn't have won the NIT, I don't think our program would have been ready for last year. So I think all these things have helped us. And we wouldn't be here today if we wouldn't have done that a couple years ago with this group and this core of players. It's a great question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good luck in the Final Four.
Thank you. I hope to be listening and hearing your questions in a few years. So you have to hang around, okay?
I will. Thank
Okay,
you.
you're welcome.
Thank you for the question, Pepper. We now move to a question from Bob Joyce with the Uconn Sports Network. Bob?
Hey, Dee, congratulations.
Thank you.
Are there any similarities whatsoever offensively to what Uconn does to what Stanford does? And if so, can you benefit from that preparation?
Yeah, I think we most definitely can benefit from it. But, Uconn runs amazing offense. They have so many weapons, and they're like an offensive machine, and obviously coached by one of the best. So, yes, it helps us playing against Stanford multiple times and in pretty big situations. We played on Monday night on ESPN, so those were big-time games for us. And Stanford, with Tara as just a tremendous coach, and they run Chin very well. And so I think that at least we have the preparation in that sense. But looking, from our point of view, what helps also is half of the Pac-12 teams. It's over half. I'd say out of 12 Pac-12 teams, I'd say 9 run a lot of Princeton and Chin stuff. So I think that for us, we've guarded it before, and we've guarded some of the actions pretty well. So that gives us some confidence. But we have to then go down and actually do it in this setting. So this is uncharted territory for us. So we just have to not think about what a huge game it is. Just play it like it's any other game, and then I think we have good chances because we have guarded it all year long.
Thank you, Bob. And our next question will come from PJ Brown. PJ, please identify your affiliation.
Sure. This is PJ Brown from the Arizona Daily Star.
Hi, PJ.
Adia, was there a moment either in the season sometime or in the couple weeks leading up to this tournament where you looked at your team and you're like, yeah, we're going to make a big run and we could be at the Final Four and have our shot?
No, because I don't look ahead like that. I don't. I didn't think like, oh, it's Stony Brook, we're looking at the Final Four. I was just like one game at a time. For me, I'm better when my focus is narrowed and I'm thinking of one thing. So like to me today, it's getting better, preparing for Uconn. I'm not thinking about like the winner of the next game because I just don't think you achieve those when you look ahead. And this isn't how my team is successful. So when we were thinking about Stony Brook, it was all Stony Brook. We were thinking about the next game, it was all the next game. So we don't look ahead, and I don't process like that. So no. So just like one day at a time, one game at a time, and we're just better that way. And like we've learned from that. So I would say a couple months ago, we would have like our end of the Pac-12 game, our end of the season Pac-12 game. I think it's easy to then start thinking about the Pac-12. And so for us, I realized that we're not good in that situation. Like we lost our last game against ASU and then went into the Pac-12 tournament. So we have to take one day at a time, one game at a time, one practice at a time, and we're better. So me as a coach, I have to know that about my team and just coach us that way.
Thank you, PJ. Our next question is from Jim Vertuno with the Associated Press. Jim?
Hi, Jim Vertuno with the Associated Press. You talked a little bit the other night after the win about the building process to get to this point. What is it about Ari McDonald and the players that you have that tells you that they are ready for this moment, for this chance to play for a national championship and not make it just about getting to the Final Four, but actually finishing it out? What is it about them in this moment?
I think it's just the way we are, how we're made up. We always say built different, but Ari, her mentality isn't to not be ready for this moment. I think, and you can see that with her play, she has raised her level of play in the tournament. So I think for us, we know that getting here just wasn't enough. And I think we've had that same chip on our shoulder from the beginning. Like getting to the tournament wasn't enough. Winning the first game wasn't enough. Going to the Sweet 16, we weren't satisfied. Elite 8, we weren't. So I think for us, we're not satisfied. We would be, even though we're underdogs, we would be devastated if we didn't, win a championship because that's what you play for. You play to win it all. We don't play just to go to the Final Four. We don't play just to be here. And so I don't think that's our mentality of our team. I don't think that's how we are. I think we're going to do our best. And regardless of what the results are, we're going to give ourselves the best chance and we're going to play hard. So what happens will happen. But that's just not the mentality of our leaders in this program and not my mentality at all. So, we're here. It's like, what's staying? We've already been on the road like 17 days in lockdown in the hotel. So what's a couple more? You might as well be here for the long haul, right?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jim. We now go to Damien Alameda. Damien?
Hey, Adia.
Hi.
Congratulations. What kind of guidance has Joan Bonvicini given you in this postseason run?
She always gives me guidance. She's given me guidance since before I took this job, every step of the way with this job. I think she's really helped me just being in my corner. So she's won a lot of games. I mean, probably more games than I'll ever win. And she's been through all these experiences and she's lived it. So whether it's about, the game or any kind of preparation or I can have her look at us and give me her honest opinion. And so it's helpful. And so I've used her the whole time. And to have someone like that in my corner who actually played for me, who watches us at practice, see the progression, and gives me honest feedback. And it may not always be feedback I want, but I'm like, I can accept constructive criticism, and I want it because I want to get better. So she'll give me constructive criticism regardless, and it's helpful, and it makes me a better coach. And I'm just lucky that I have her in Tucson. As someone doesn't have any stake in anything, just wants me to be successful. So I'm just fortunate to have her, and we've had our talks throughout the week. And she's actually flying here today to be here to experience it with me. And for me, it's meaningful because she was there for me through it all. She was at my house when I was 17, recruiting me to come to Arizona, and I had a bond with her, and I came here. Then she coached me. She put me in situations to be successful. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her and my success with her. And then after that, in the pros, she was with me at my first training camp. So she's been with me through all these huge life things, and I think that's the definition of a mentor, and that's someone who you want people like that in your life. And I'm fortunate that I have a few people like that in my life that can really help me navigate through this journey.
Thanks for that question. The next question will come from Rich Herrera, Tucson and Wildcat Radio. Rich?
Adia, congratulations on
Thank
making
you.
it to the Final Four. If you can indulge me for just a sec, we're going to do a full 3-hour pregame show leading up to the game tomorrow. So
awesome.
a couple questions. Can you talk about the mindset of your team? How loose are they? How prepared are they? What are they like mentally right now leading up to the game?
Well, I hope to say we're always prepared. My coaching staff does a great job we prepare our team for everything that we think they need, and we try to simplify things, but they're going to be prepared for basketball. The other stuff, we were able to have some fun yesterday. Went to like a private tour at the zoo, which is awesome. Some people had never like fed a giraffe, so that was really cool. And that was one of the few times this year we've had some team bonding. Like we were able to do something because this COVID year we haven't been able to do anything like that. So that was really missing this year. So I think to get their minds off of all this, that was really awesome. But we're not tight. I think that some people are surprised to hear that. I'm not tight. We're not tight. It's like we're in an awesome situation. I'm trying to emphasize to the players to enjoy the moment, to live in the moment, because it's really hard to get here. I think there's a lot of players in the world and country that will never go to a Final Four, will never win a championship. So I think you have to live in the moment and enjoy it. But we're not tight. We're feeling good. I think we're pretty loose, and we feel good.
And can we get a scouting report on Uconn, their strengths and what challenges they present for the Wildcats?
I mean, there are a lot of strengths, a lot of challenges. They're one of the best. They have, Paige is an incredible point guard, but they have so much talent. We have to play defense and make things difficult for them, because if we just sit back and we play passive, like that's not going to help us at all. We're going to have to disrupt things and play tough defense and make them work for every shot, knowing they're going to hit shots, but make them work for shots. And then for us, we just have to play our game. I know Ari's been playing at a really high level, and we've been hitting shots at the right time, so we need some other people to really step up. And we're capable of doing that, so we're excited, and I think we're ready.
Thanks. Thank you for the questions, Rich. We now move to Michelle Vopel of ESPN. Michelle?
Yeah, Coach, this is a little bit of a big picture question, so forgive me. I know you got your hands full just strategizing for the game, but with everything that's been talked about with the NCAA, as somebody who's built a program and is still building it and went through everything in the WNBA in terms of trying to get attention and all that, what do you think is the message that the NCAA needs to take from the players about how to promote the game, how to market the game?
I think one great thing to look at is the WNBA. I think the WNBA, even the first couple of years when it started, they did a great job of marketing and recruiting and really selling women's basketball. I think that's the first thing. I think there definitely has to be more equality and parity. Should not be such a big disparity with everything. I don't feel like that's the way it should be nowadays. Whether that means that big picture, you may lose a little bit of money or you may break even, but that's not what it's all about. I think that you have to have more of a level playing field. And I think that, for us, there is more parity in women's basketball, which is great. I think we have a great product. And I think my message to people all around the world is that if you support women, you need to support us. You need to watch us. You need to turn on ESPN. All of those things lead to resources where money can be poured back into women's basketball. So, and I always challenge, I think that one of the challenges overall is women supporting women. So women are usually the head of households. They control the money. They usually dictate what's being spent on what. And I think more women need to support women. And I think when we do that, it helps because the bottom line is it's a business and money speaks volumes. So I think that us having more followers and more TV viewers, it helps. But I think that you can see that people care about women's basketball now. I mean, Sedona's tweet, I think had or her TikTok, I think had 15 million views. That's pretty phenomenal. So people care. The optimistic thing for me is that a couple years ago, it was the same situation. I mean, probably even worse, and no one talked about it. So it's an issue. It has to be fixed. And I think that even for me, being in Arizona, the underdog that's here in the Final Four, there was a situation today where there was a highlight video and we weren't even on it. So those are things I think that missed sometimes and shouldn't be, because there are 4 teams that have worked really hard to get here. and have put in this same amount of work and like wear the same shoes and uniforms and enjoy the experience. So that stuff like that shouldn't happen. So along the line, people drop the ball, and that has to change, or there has to be accountability. Just like me as a head coach, if I don't win games, I'm probably going to get fired. So I think in other areas there needs to be accountability. If you drop the ball, somebody need to fix it or figure it out. Just like if I start losing for 5 years straight, I have to figure out a way to win. And so I think that there needs to be more accountability, and things have to change. And it was clearly evident this year that that has to happen.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Michelle. And we have time for one more question, and that will come from Cheryl Coward of Hoop Feed. Cheryl?
Cheryl Coward from Hoop Feed. Hi, Adia.
Hi, Cheryl.
We talked to Gino earlier, and he had some high praise for you. And he said that, one, you got to the Final Four faster than he did. And two, that you did it without compromising your principles and sticking to looking and getting the type of player that you want and not going after the, next shiny object out there. What is that type of player? Can you describe that to us?
There's a couple of things I always say. And first of all, I have so much respect for Gino, and a lot of my friends have played in his program, so I've watched him for years. I mean, Sue Bird was one of my best friends and teammates for many years, so I got to see the type of player he produces. So I've always had so much respect, and I thought his program was elite in the way he develops leaders and stuff, and teammates I've had in the WNBA. So watched him for many years. I think that I've also learned a lot from him throughout the way. I love the way he's so transparent. He supports women's basketball. He develops young leaders and all those things. So I respect him so much for that. I think for me, transparency and being who I am. And there's a couple things I don't want to coach. I can't coach you and motivate you. If I have to sit and motivate you and beg you to play hard, I can't coach you. So those aren't players I want to coach. I want to coach players that are intrinsically motivated, that are a team. A lot of people talk about family. That's the reality in our business. And it's not a family. It's usually very dysfunctional. In my program, it's not like that. We are a family. Does that mean it's perfect and roses every day? No. It means sometimes you have tough conversations. You may get irritated at each other, but there is love and respect and trust. And even with coaches, we may not agree on everything behind closed doors, but when we walk out, we're united. And so that's what this program is. I'm not going to chase kids to class. I'm not going to do those things because it's not who I want to coach. Now, earlier in my career, I think there was a couple things or chances I took to recruit players because we weren't getting the top 100 kids. We were like 300 in RPI. So we weren't getting the McDonald's All-Americans. We were getting average, and I took some chances, but as I've just progressed and we've gotten better, there's certain things I'm not going to coach, and I don't want to. I want to love who I coach. I want to have a bond, and a relationship's big to me. It's not big to some people, and that's okay, but I don't run it like a business because it's not my personality. So I have to be who I am, and there's certain players I want to coach, and it's just certain values that the program is going to have. And I'm okay if it's not for everybody. If you're not into skill development, you're not into doing team bonding and stuff, this isn't the program from you. But I'm okay because then it's you don't stay in the program. But I want to coach certain things. I want to love coaching my team. I want to be happy and feel a bond with my players. And it doesn't mean I know all their personal business because I don't. We're always the last people to know stuff. But I care about them developing. I care about young women because I've been there. Joan made us do etiquette class when I was in college. Did I think it was annoying at the time? Of course I did. But then I realized when I was drafted to the WNBA, I wasn't the one to mess up the table. So things like that I do, and I feel like our program does that better than anyone in the country because I care about it and I value it. But if I didn't value it, we wouldn't do it. So I think that I care about young women. It's not only about basketball. I want them to develop and represent the program well and themselves well and grow as women. And that's more important than basketball because 2% are going to play pro. So I'm not doing them any service if I don't develop them as women, as leaders, and aspire to maybe be a head coach one day or be whatever they want to be. So I feel like I bring that in this program. I think that's what just makes us a little bit special, I hope.
Coach, on that inspiring note and answer, we are going to end the press conference for you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
and
you.
Best to you and your team in the national semifinals. Thank you.
Thank you.
For those media members present, please make sure to use the raise hand function if you wish to ask a question. We're going to be joined by senior guard Ari McDonald right now. There she is. Congratulations, and thank you for joining us, Ari. We will start our questions with Pepper Persley from the Next Hoops. Pepper?
Thanks for calling on me. And hi, Ari. Congrats on making it to the Final Four. Coach Barnes and Coach Staley are making history as the first pair of Black female head coaches in the Final Four. What does it mean to you to be coached by one of those history-making Black women?
That means a lot. Representation is everything, and I'm just glad they're creating history, and they are creating opportunities for other Black women, and also Coach Barnes is making histories for mothers. She's creating opportunities for them. So, a very historical moment, and you just gotta love it.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Damien Alameda. Damien?
Ari, I'm just kind of curious to know what your reaction was when you saw that initial video posted on Twitter with the 3 other teams, sans Arizona.
Yeah, I rewatched it a couple of times, and I was like, "Wait, I didn't see any red." I know it was myself, Sam, and Kate, and Coach Adia. I don't see any red. It was frustrating. Definitely took it as a sign of disrespect, but it is what it is. I mean, got to get it together. But I mean, we're not worried about that. We're gonna do our thing, and definitely you're gonna see that translate to the court.
Thank you for that question. We will next go to Rich Herrera. Rich?
Hi, Ari. Congratulations on making it to the Final Four. I asked this to Coach Adia and ask you as well. Can you talk a little bit about the scouting report for Uconn and the specific challenges that they're going to present to you?
Yeah, Uconn is a balanced team. I think their starting 5 is probably in double figures. They have dynamic guards on the court. Their post players are very tenacious. They grab boards like no other. Just them being able to score all over the court and their transition offense. I mean, we got to get stops. We got to just make it tough for them, and we have to rebound. Like, those are the 2 keys, transition defense and rebounding. And, we just got to do what got us here, which is our defense. And that turns to our offense, and that kind of gets us going. So, defense is pretty much the key in rebounding.
How is the team keeping loose right now?
We're just trying to keep ourselves busy. We have no pressure at all. Nobody think we can win. We're the underdogs. So, I mean, we're going to play loose and free. We're just going to keep having fun. I mean, we've been just trying to hang out with each other, keep each other's spirits high. So, I mean, we're just trying to be positive. That's all we can do to be free.
Thank you for those questions. We're now going to turn to Jim Vertuno from the Associated Press for our next question. Jim?
Hi, Jim Vertuno of the Associated Press. How would you describe this building process from when you first got to Arizona to basically the brink of, to the Final Four and the brink of playing for a national championship?
You could say a roller coaster. You could describe it as frustrating. But, I mean, it's crazy. We really started at the bottom. When I came here, we were 12th, I think. And then just to see our growth into now, like NIT champions, and each year we kept winning more Pac-12 games, more regular season games. I mean, it's just crazy. And just Coach Barnes and other coaches, they do a great job in recruiting. They changed the culture since I've been here. My teammates have put in so much work, and it's exciting to see it all pay off.
Jim, do you have a follow-up question?
How's the ankle that you had to get taped the other night?
It's better. I'm moving it around. I've been doing treatment since I injured it, but I'll be good to go for tomorrow. Thank you for asking.
Thank you, Jim. Our next question will come from Faith Woodard. Faith, CBS 4. Faith?
Hi, quick question for you, and it's a question I've been asking all of the players. We're trying to put together, one of these lighter pieces, pregame pieces. So I'm trying to ask, what is your pregame ritual? I've been asking the players whether they listen to music, whether they take naps before a game, special snacks. What do you do to make sure that you go into that game loose and free with the right mindset?
I listen to music. I don't nap before games. I feel like that'll make me a little sluggish, but I just listen to music and I eat a lot of bananas.
Give me what's on your playlist. What is that go-to song that you just got to listen to and hear?
Oh.
I'm putting you on the spot.
I will probably say Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, we have time for a few more questions, and we're going to go to Michelle Vopel of ESPN. Michelle?
Thanks, Barb. Congratulations. Can you talk about you faced probably every defense that's ever been conceived. Obviously, you know Uconn well and how well, especially Kristen Williams, has been able to defend. Can you talk about going against a defense like that and just the way you've had success, adjusting to the different defensive looks you get?
Yeah, I think you said it. I didn't face every defense out there, but I'm just gonna keep doing Ari, keep being patient, keep taking what the defense giving me, not trying to force it, just reading the defense. So, I mean, I'm just gonna do what got me here thus far, and I'm just feed off my teammates, try to get them going and stuff, and just be patient, let the game come to me.
Michelle, do you have a follow-up question?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I want to know, probably you haven't thought about this at all, and I don't blame you, but the WNBA looms and the draft looms. I wonder if when you've had some moments at all, if you've thought about that, and like you said, you could have gone last year, you came back, but what are your thoughts on when that time comes?
When that time comes, I know that it'll be the best decision of my life. I know that there'll be a lot of people behind me supporting me, and but just right now, I'm trying to accomplish the mission and take care of my teammates and just keep putting Arizona on that map.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Michelle. We have time for 2 more questions, and we'll go back to Jim Vertuno from the Associated Press for the first one.
Hi, Jim Vertuno of the AP. I'm just wondering, a lot of the focus here is going to be on the scoring of you and Paige. I'm wondering if there's a tendency to, or would you have to avoid a tendency to get into kind of a basket for basket trade-off with her?
We can't trade buckets. That's going to be dangerous. Can't do that at all. So coming into the game, I'm not focused on offense right now as much. I mean, start with defense. I mean, defense wins games. So, I mean, if I buckle down on defense and do my job and my teammates are also doing their job on the defensive end, the offense will come. But we cannot trade baskets because UConn is they're a high-scoring team, and they're very efficient, and they can do it from all over the court. So definitely can't get into trading baskets early.
Thank you.
And Ari, your last question will come from Damien Alameda. Damien?
Ari, if you could go back in time and talk to yourself during the 2017-2018 run when Arizona only won 6 games. If you could go back in time and talk to that person, what would you tell her?
Oof. I would say stay motivated. Keep pushing yourself, keep making your teammates better. I would have told myself definitely get more shots up. And just keep getting yourself out your comfort zone so you can be that vocal leader that your coaches and your teammates know you can be. But yeah, just pretty much stay the course and just focus on yourself, keep God first, and just be better than you were the day before.
Thank you, Damien. And Ari, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to you and your teammates in the semifinals. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Members of the media, thank you very much for joining us today. And we just really appreciate your time, your questions, and a recording of this press conference will be posted in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com. Once again, thank you for joining us today, and thank you very much for your coverage of NCAA women's basketball.